Welcome back to Blitzkrieg Intel Update number 7. I'm Naberzunner here with Tack and Water KH to discuss the last known and chronologically final Chronorium excerpt, known as the Pigpen Cipher, The Great War. Water, you want to explain to us the discovery and the deciphering of this as we do per the usual?
So who originally found this was a user by the name of The Gigs, and it's actually a Pigpen cipher, which we'll explain it after we talk about the analysis of it.
Great, so the plain text of this cipher is as follows. Chronorium excerpt 654371979. Once the Great War ended with the defeat of the Apothicons, the Keepers ascended to become the wards of all universes. The surviving Apothicons were cast out, banished to the Dark Aether beneath creation. After eons of exile in the Dark Aether, the Apothicons evolved into twisted creatures that now bear little resemblance to their Keeper brethren. The Apothicons' ceaseless desire is to re-enter creation to consume and corrupt all the universes. It is the Keepers that guard against these perpetual attempts to re-enter creation and guard against any beings that may have fallen under the influence of the Apothicons. Once again, an enormous amount of info and background on the Keepers and the Apothicons. Guys, Tack, share your thoughts. What do you think about what we've just been given?
So yeah, one of the things, first and foremost that I think is kind of interesting being as you said, Hunter, the chronologically final Chronorium excerpt is a lot of excerpts from the Chronorium. Like, look how huge that number is. That's 654 million.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow.
That's how many excerpts. Like, that's insane. And then just, I don't know, that boggles my mind first and foremost. But then after that, you also have to think about how this cipher is the successor to the In the Beginning one, where it talks about how Apothicons came to be and how they evolved from their keeper brethren, as it says. They get into this great war, and they're exiled to the Dark Aether, which, besides that In the Beginning cipher, we haven't heard that term before. So, tying those two ciphers together even more, I think. I don't know, as you said, there's a lot of content in here. And so I don't know, what else do you think, Water?
Yeah, definitely. I want to touch on one point you mentioned, the Dark Aether. If there's that distinction, it kind of makes me think that, like, since Dark Aether is, like, under creation, maybe Aether's above creation. Yeah, so kind of talking more a little bit about the Dark Aether. It kind of reminds me of, since it's beneath creation, we can think of, like, if there are two distinct things, Dark Aether and then the Aether, then it kind of reminds me of the biblical story of how, like, there were the loyal angels and then the rebellious angels, and how the loyal angels kind of threw the other ones out and exiled them into the quote-unquote Dark Aether, or like hell. So that's definitely something interesting I thought about. So yeah, furthermore, that story is actually in Revelations. And there's kind of echoes of that in two places in Gorod Krovi. One is the musical Easter egg, and the other one is the ending cutscene. At the end, it kind of alludes to DLC 4, how it mentions Revelations.
It makes me wonder, like, whether that's what we can actually expect to see, whether the map's going to be that, or whether,
Yeah.
Who knows what that is. And one thing I want to add to that is the use of the word brethren in there. And like you had said, Water, you kind of drew that analogy to the loyal and rebellious angels of heaven, is that at one point they were, on the same plane, they're the same creatures, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And here, the use of the word brethren, and as well as the beginning cipher that Tack, you had referenced, it seems to kind of finally confirm what we were suspicious of for some time, that the Apothicons and the Keepers are actually the same race. What the Apothicons are, what we're seeing there, is just a massive corruption of the Keeper race. So, honestly, I think this is awesome to see. We're seeing more of a unifying of a lot of these, of the factors that have been introduced, especially with Shadows of Evil and Black Ops 3.
Yeah, definitely.
So, to wrap up, Water, if you could just give us a technical or a more of a understandable explanation of what a Pigpen cipher is and help us to understand that.
So the Pigpen cipher is definitely something difficult to describe, which is why they use, like, pictorial representations of letters. So basically, if you have, like, a backwards L, it would be actually represented an A in Pigpen. And if you have a forwards L, you actually have a C. And then furthermore, you have different variations of kind of these symbols, where you have a forwards L and then you have another forwards L with a dot, which actually represents L. So it's these different kind of representations of letters that form Pigpen.
And of course, I've got that up on screen here, folks. If you're confused by that explanation, we appreciate you making the effort to help us to understand water. All right, guys. Once again, thank you all so much. And folks, thanks so much for watching. We will see y'all in the next one.